Hey Adventure Pals, do you ever surf the web? Well, there are thousands of sites available to check out and tons of information available to learn from on the internet. But you have to be very careful when surfing the web. That's what we're talking about on Discovery Jones Expeditions. Coming up next.
Hey, Discovery! Discovery, can you come in here, please?
Yeah, what is it, little buddy? What's going on?
Well, look what I just saw on the computer. Look at .com screensaver. Check this out.
Yeah, that's a picture I got from an internet website. It's from a place I'm going on my next adventure. It's pretty neat, huh?
You're going to do that? Discovery, are you crazy?
No, I'm not crazy. It's called canyoneering, and I'm looking forward to it, little buddy. It's going to be awesome.
Well, I don't know. In this picture, it looks like you'd have to be able to be... You'd be Spider-Man to do that.
I see what you mean. It sort of looks like he's hanging from a web, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does.
Well, don't worry, Rusty. It's sort of like rock climbing in a way, only it involves rappelling down into canyons to see things that most people never get to see. It's amazing.
Well, I can't wait to see you do this, Discovery. It looks pretty scary, but it looks fun, too.
Well, you'll get to see a lot more of this really soon. I'm packing my bags and my gear right now.
Cool! Discovery's gonna look like a spider hanging from a web! Huh? Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
Speaking of web.
Yeah?
Oh, I've got to surf the web for a report that Mrs. Squiggles assigned last week. I'd better get busy.
Yeah, you better get busy, and I'll get back to packing. You do your homework, okay? By the way, be careful when you're surfing the web. It can be, well, more dangerous than canyoneering.
What? How can surfing the web be more dangerous than canyoneering? I mean, I won't be hanging off any cliffs when I'm doing my homework.
Well, that's true, I know, but trust me, the web is it's a wonderful world of information and fun, but it can be a web of horrors if you use it unwisely. I tell you what, I've got a lot of information that'll help explain all this on my next expedition. I'll share it with you, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's great, because I don't think I know what you mean, but I'm really curious now.
Well, cool. Well, you get busy and I'll get on my way, and I'll see you back here later, okay?
Yeah, that's cool. I'll see you in a few.
Okay. Matt, I'm looking so forward to this. This is going to be really awesome.
Yeah, Discovery, I'm looking forward to it too.
Well, Adventure Pals, I'm here with Matt Moore, and he is one of the guides and owners of Desert Highlights Canyoneering, based here in Moab, Utah. Matt, how's it going?
It's doing really good. It's doing good.
Well, today is going to be exciting. Now, canyoneering is an exciting and unique sport. Tell me more about what it is.
Sure. Well, canyoneering is all about exploring remote canyons, oftentimes with the use of ropes. We've got a lot of climbing gear with us today, so we're going to be rappelling into this canyon and going and exploring its depth, seeing what's down in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
From what I understand, in Utah especially, there are miles and miles of canyons and slot canyons, things to look through and just explore all over the place. Is that right?
Discovery, it's endless out here. I mean, there's so much terrain out here to explore.
And from where we're standing now, you can't really tell the depth of these canyons. It looks just like the rim up here.
Yeah, it's very, very deceiving, and we got to be careful about that. I think this canyon here is probably about 200 feet from where we're standing down to the floor of the canyon. And once we get down this rounded rock here, it gets very narrow and very deep. And there's going to be a place or two, again, where we're going to need to use ropes and maybe do a little bit of swimming or at least some wading, because I've heard there's some water down in there.
You've heard? You haven't been there before?
Well, it's been a long time.
Well, you're scaring me.
I'm looking forward to it, though.
Okay, well, you know what? One thing that's important to remember is you should always have a good guide, a professional guide with you to help you learn these areas. Is that correct?
Well, that's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, because you never know what you're going to get into out here. And just for securities, what we're going to do is tie a rope off to this tree and have that rope fixed so that once we rappel down through the canyon and go through the water, you know, there aren't many places to get out of the canyon here, so we want to make sure we've got an out. So what we're going to do is once we get to this rope that we leave fixed from the tree, we'll attach little mechanical ascenders, little devices to the rope there, and that'll allow us to climb our way up out of the canyon so that we don't get stuck down there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're ready to go. We got a few friends joining us, so I say we get started and waste no more time.
Great.
Let's do it. Matt, this has got to be a lot of fun for kids to come out and do this too.
Oh, you bet. You know, canyoneering is perfect for kids. They're just naturally curious. They love to hang off of ropes. They love the wildlife. And, you know, we go out frequently with kids, you know, 8, 9 years old. And honestly, a lot of those kids do better than their parents. It looks like blue skies. That's what we want here.
Great, isn't it?
Don't want any chance of a thunderstorm today. We don't want that.
How many different canyons in and around the Moab area are there to explore that you know of currently, or that you would take people on for tours?
Well, as far as what we guide on, there's about maybe 10 different canyons that we do on a regular basis.
And they're all different levels, right? Different,
they're all
difficult.
you bet. They're all different levels, ranging from people who've never ever done it before to people who've done quite a bit of it and are looking for a little extra challenge, maybe getting out into some more remote regions. But that's the nice thing about it. A lot of these canyons have a tremendous amount of variety to them. So there's always going to be something for everyone, basically.
Man, look at this. This is awesome.
Yeah, and that wild discovery, huh?
There it is, man. The slot drops right down in there.
Yeah, and that deep, deep narrow. It looks like a cave almost.
It really does. And say it goes on for a long way, right?
Yeah, it does. In fact, you look down in there, I can see some reflections of water in there. So
Yeah,
it looks
just
like
a little bit.
might be getting a little bit wet
And
today.
you can hear your echo too. That's cool. Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? That's cool.
Very, very cool.
Well, we got a long way to drop down there. I guess, are we rappelling right here?
As a matter of fact, we will. There should be some boulders just right up over here. And we can tie the ropes off to that and drop them in and go right down that ridge of rock there.
Well, let's get started.
Great.
Now, obviously, while we're rock climbing, Matt, we wear helmets because there's rocks that can fall from above us with people climbing above us.
That's right.
In canyoneering, what is the reason for the helmet? Is it the same thing, or specifically what is it?
Well, pretty much. You know, whenever we're rappelling into a canyon, there's going to be a rope above us, and that rope always, you know, has that potential to knock a loose rock off from the rim and down onto our heads. So we want to just make sure that we're wearing a helmet just to deflect any rocks that the rope might knock loose. So, and it's good too when you're, you know, swimming or if you're scrambling through a narrow slot. Sometimes the rock is wet and your shoes will slip and you might, you know, fall sideways into the wall. So it's always good to have that helmet on.
Safety first.
You betcha, always.
Looks like it's time for the rappel. Matt, what's first?
Right on, Discovery. Well, what we're going to do, I'm going to teach you a little bit about how the ropes are rigged and how we use these ATCs. These are our rappel devices. But first, let me just tell you that, of course, our orange rope here is what we're going to be rappelling on. But this white rope over here, if you're wondering what it's all about, that's a belay line. It's just simply a safety line that's going to be tied directly into your harness. Now, I'm going to be in control of that rope, but I'll give you a little bit of slack, so you're doing all the work, really.
Okay.
But basically, it's just safety. And again, safety comes first here. So, what we're going to do with these little rappel devices, we just pull up a bit of rope there. You just pinch it like that, and you're going to stuff it down in through that ATC. That stands for Air Traffic Controller, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's the name of that particular purple rappel device. And of course, we always want to lock our carabiner gate so that it doesn't accidentally come undone. Everything looks good. We want to double check that our harness is doubled back here. It looks like everybody's doubled back.
That's good.
Great. So what we've got here, this right hand, I want you to keep that on the rope at all times. This is what we call our brake hand. The brake hand is what controls your rate of descent. Now, by holding the rope way back here around your hip, you can see that I'm creating real tight bends in the rappel device. That creates a lot of friction, so you'll go slow. Now, if I was to move my hand out a little bit like this, I'm going to reduce the angle of that bend right there, you see? And I got less friction and I'll go down.
Very good.
So it's real simple. And at the start here, I like to keep my hand back around my hip just so we go down nice and slow here at the start. Now, I'm not going to go down all the way, but I just want to show you that when we get to the edge, I want you to have a seat right here on your left hip, because this wall right beneath us, another couple of feet, overhangs considerably. And once you get over this edge, you're just going to be out in space. So if you stay on your left hip as you go over the rim, it'll just make that transition from being on the rock to free hanging that much easier. So that's all there is to it.
Cool. You know, it's a good thing we sent the girls down first, just to make sure the bugs are out of the way, the spiders, the snakes, get rid of all that stuff, make it clear for us to go down. It's no strategy there.
This is great! I almost feel like Spider-Man, hanging from a web and crawling around through dark, mysterious places.
Oh, this looks cold. Oh, it is cold. Oh, whew. Oh, woo! We made it. It's freezing down here, but it's beautiful. If you get a chance to come down sometime, you got to check this out. It's really awesome. The echo is cool too. All right, I got to untie the ropes.
Well, while this isn't the real web and I'm not Spider-Man, most of you do use the real web pretty often, the internet web. It's a great tool for learning and discovering new things. In fact, that's exactly how I found out about canyoneering. Cool, huh? But listen up. There are some definite web do's and don'ts that you should know. Here's one to remember. Never give out personal information like your name, address, or phone number to another person on the internet. It may be okay to do so while you're signing up for the DJ club, but you shouldn't have to give your name or personal information to a person that you don't know. Don't ever forget that, Adventure Pals. This is just spectacular, Matt.
Yeah, isn't this wild?
Look at these walls.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing what the flash floods can do down here, carving out these huge
It really
chambers?
is amazing. Tell me more about that, the water levels in here. How deep would it get?
Well, during a big thunderstorm, it's not uncommon to see water levels maybe 10, 15 feet high right through here, just creating these enormous chambers. So it's definitely not a good place to be during thunderstorms, but in dry weather, this is just like a cathedral.
Yeah,
right
you
here.
don't want to be at the wrong time.
No.
But it is really special to see this area. I hope all our Adventure Pals get a chance to come and see this too, because it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's overwhelming.
it is.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, I think the girls are up here somewhere.
You know, one thing I'm learning about canyoneering, man, is different than straight rock climbing on a cliff. Things like this, you've got to learn different climbing techniques. You don't just go straight up like that with your feet and your hands and find your handholds and footholds, but using your whole body. You're going through some of these cracks and crevices and seeing some beautiful areas through here while canyoneering.
Yeah, I think that's one of the funnest aspects of it is just the physical challenges. You know, there's always something different around the corner. You know, these big chalk stones that wedge themselves into the canyon walls. And you know you have to deal with those. You have to climb up and over them, and sometimes you're using a variety of techniques.
You may be swimming, hiking, climbing, rappelling, you name it, you're doing it while you're canyoneering.
That's right.
It's just an added little extra bit of fun through the rocks.
That's right.
This is so cool. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Well, my web here, or my rope I should say, is holding up just great. And so is the internet web, which is why you have to be very careful how you use it. You know, the internet's growing each and every day. So here's an important tip. Never give out your screen name or your password ever over the internet. If you do that, your web could become a very tangled mess. Don't you love canyoneering? This stuff is so cool. Let's do some more. Hey gang, here's another great web reminder. Don't use hyperlinks in chat rooms or on server sites that require your password or personal information. Do you know why? Well, it's sad to say, but there are people called computer hackers who can figure out your password and use it if you do. It's probably a good idea to change your password fairly often. And again, never give your password to anyone other than your parents. Oh, hey, here's another important reminder. Never randomly type in a web address that you are not sure of. Always use a reputable and reliable search engine. That way you can avoid some of the bad stuff on the internet. You know, there's great stuff out there, but there's some people that put bad things on the internet. And when you look at that, you're dishonoring the Lord. Hey, wait up, guys, I'm coming.
This is awesome, man. Look at this. Looks like we've got Jessica up here waiting for us. Yeah.
Want to hand me your pack, Discovery?
Yeah. This is a pretty challenging activity when it comes to some of these traverses and some of the different activities you have to do.
Yeah.
As you've guided so many families through here to do this activity, have you ever noticed a difference between children and the mothers and the fathers about technique or ability?
You know, it's one of those activities that I think is well suited for kids because they're just natural climbers, you know, boys and girls. There's a lot of different challenges, you know, the physical, the mental challenges, but the kids just love this stuff. They love scrambling in the rocks.
It is awesome. It's a lot of fun for big kids too.
That's for sure. That's why I'm doing it.
Looks like we got some more water to go through, so here we go.
Woo!
How is it, Jessica?
Oh, it's a refresher.
Oh, this will feel good. Oh, yeah. Woo!
Dive on in. Oh.
Wow, you know, canyoneering is an all-new adventure for me. This is so cool. And I just love using my rope web to explore new and interesting places. And I know that some of you out there learn new and interesting things on the internet web. It can be a safe and a great thing, just like canyoneering. But it can also be a very dangerous thing. That's why it's so important to use the proper precautions to prevent disaster. So what are some other disasters online that you can prevent just by being cautious? Well, here is a very big warning, so listen very closely. Never, and I mean never, ever, make arrangements to meet someone that you've talked to online. That is very dangerous. If you receive any messages through chat rooms or emails that make you feel uncomfortable, that are rude or inappropriate, make sure that you tell an adult that you trust about it right away. Using that rope of caution is very important to keep you safe. Check this out, Adventure Pals. God's Word says in Philippians chapter 4 that we should fix our thoughts on things that are admirable, honorable, right, pure, and lovely. Well, sadly, there are things on the web that aren't any of these things. It is really disappointing that people decide to mess up a good thing like the internet, but they do. That's why it's so important for you to be careful when you're surfing the web. The web is a wonder, but it can be a disastrous tool that weaves a very deceiving trap for those who aren't careful. We've been talking about the internet web today, and it's really cool to think about some of the similarities between, say, a spider's web and the internet web. Now, if you think about it, a spider's web is really cool. If you've ever seen one just after a rainstorm when the sunshine goes right through it, it's really cool because it goes in all different directions. The strands can take the spider this way or that way. It's awesome. It takes them to different destinations. Well, the internet web is kind of the same way. It can take you, as the user, all over the world. You can learn about, France and Germany and all these different countries around our world. You can see fine artworks. It's awesome. There's all sorts of things you can find out about on the internet web. It's really cool, kind of like our canyoneering adventure today. This is awesome, Matt. Now we're ready to go up, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. This is actually the fun part.
Okay, cool.
It's a little bit of work. I have to forewarn you.
I think we're up for the challenge.
I know you're up for the challenge. We've had a pretty good day so far. Right. But what I'm going to do, these are called mechanical ascenders. I'm just going to attach these to the rope right here. They're little cams, and you can slide them up the rope. But that cam right here, whenever you pull down on it, it locks against the rope, and it won't allow you to go down. So you can work these in conjunction with one another to go right up a rope.
Another similarity between the internet web and the spider web is pretty scary. Have you ever seen an insect get caught in a spider's web? The web catches a bug and the bug is trapped and can't escape. Because the bug ventured into the area where the spider had spun a web, it will become the spider's dinner. Yuck! Well, I tell you this as a warning. If you go to sites on the internet web that displease God, it can be just as dangerous for you as the spider's web is to the bug who gets caught in it. You can get caught into serious trouble if you don't use the web wisely. Remember that the next time you go surfing.
Matt, this was incredible. What an awesome time I had. Canyoneering is really cool. It's better than I thought it would be.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself out there, Discovery.
Not only did I enjoy it, I know we all enjoyed it, right?
It was awesome.
It was a great time. Thanks, man. I want to thank you and everybody at Desert Highlights. Check out deserthighlights.com. I mean, this is a great place located in Moab, Utah. And if you've ever wondered about canyoneering, this is a place to go. Thanks again.
Anytime.
All right, yeah. Listen, Adventure Pals, I hope you've learned today that web surfing can be a great adventure, but it's most important to remember to use caution and wisdom while wandering the web. We'll see you later.
Hey, Discovery, you're home!
Hey, little buddy, yep, I am back from wandering the web of the most beautiful canyon ever.
Well, fluff my fur, Discovery. That was way cool.
Yeah, you know, it really was, and I don't know when I've had so much fun.
Yeah. Hey, guess what?
What?
I finished my homework while you were gone, and I was very careful when I used the web, just like you said.
Well, that's great, Rusty. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah. And I thought of something you didn't mention. Do you remember when .com got email that was ugly and nasty?
Yeah, I sure do. You know, that was before we got that internet filter for .com. It was awful.
Yeah. Well, I thought you might want to warn our adventure pals not to open email if they don't know who sent it.
You know, Rusty's right, Adventure Pals. Talk to your parents about getting an internet filter if you don't have one already. Just remember this, if you're a child of God, it matters what you see, say, and do. God wants you to be pure, and He wants you to avoid temptation. There are definitely things on the internet that can tempt you to sin against God, and that's why it's so important for you to be really careful when using the internet. If you trust in Jesus and ask for His help, He'll help you make good choices when you're surfing the web.
Yeah. Jesus always helps us make good web choices.
He sure does. You know, Rusty, it's been fun, but it's time to tell our adventure pals what we always say.
Oh, okay, if you say so.
You got it.
I love you. Lots of people love you, but the one who made you loves you the most.
Now let me see your report on that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, nice form. That looks good.
Canyoneering is so awesome. I mean, this is cool. Coming down and rappelling down to these canyons, slot canyons and different things with waters. That's a word.
Hey, Discovery, you're home!
Yep, little buddy, I'm back from wandering the most wonderful thing.
Wonderful world
thing.
of-
It really is.
Hey, Discovery, you're home!
Yep, little buddy, I'm back from wandering the most beautiful
Canyon
web
thing,
web of most wandering the
backpack,
wondering
dictionary,
wondering something. Wandering the
water-filled,
web.
mosquito-laden.
Bed, rat, mouse infested waters. Discovery Jones Expeditions would like to thank our friends at the Archway Inn in Moab, Utah for their wonderful hospitality and beautiful accommodations during today's adventure. Check them out on the web at www.archwayinn.com. The DJ Club Code of Conduct reminds us that we are to show God's love in our lives by what we say, do, and think. We've learned today that the internet is great, but there are cautions we must take while surfing the web. God cares about what we see, hear, and say. Remember that the next time you're navigating the web. We'll see you next time.